Sean Strickland is being considered one of the toughest challenges for Khamzat Chimaev as the welterweight continues his dominant run in the UFC. Chimaev has impressed fans by dispatching nearly all of his opponents with relative ease, with only a few fighters such as Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman managing to push him in competitive bouts. His wrestling and top game have overwhelmed most challengers, which has led many to believe that he could maintain a long reign as champion. However, recent commentary from former UFC middleweight champion Luke Rockhold suggests that Strickland could pose a serious threat to Chimaev's dominance. During an episode of the Jackson podcast, Rockhold explained why he sees Strickland as potentially the toughest test for Chimaev. Although he admitted he is not a fan of Strickland, Rockhold emphasized that Strickland is annoyingly hard to hold down. While Strickland's ground game may not be elite, he possesses the resilience and ability to get back to his feet, which can frustrate opponents who rely heavily on wrestling and control. Rockhold noted that for Chimaev, the ability to keep a fighter grounded is crucial, and if he is unable to control Strickland on the mat, the fight could become unexpectedly difficult. Strickland's durability and striking make him a challenge that could expose potential weaknesses in Chimaev's game if the match extends to the later rounds. The dynamic between the two fighters is further complicated by their shared training history at Extreme Couture, where both have worked on striking and grappling skills. Rockhold suggested that this familiarity could influence their mental approaches, as both fighters understand each other's tendencies and may anticipate strategies in ways other opponents cannot. While Chimaev has faced high-level competition, Strickland's combination of toughness, experience, and familiarity with Chimaev's style could make him a particularly challenging matchup. Despite this, Strickland is coming off a difficult period in his career. He has not fought since February, when he lost a unanimous decision in his rematch with Draker Closa. Rockhold highlighted that Strickland needs to regain momentum and re-establish himself in the win column before he can realistically challenge a fighter of Chimaev's caliber. Nonetheless, if Strickland can recover his form and execute a smart game plan, he represents a unique and credible threat to Chimaev's ongoing dominance in the welterweight division. This potential matchup has already generated significant interest among fans and analysts, as it could test Chimaev's adaptability against an opponent who is difficult to control and mentally resilient. Jon Jones may hold a significant advantage over Alex Pereira if the two were to meet at the UFC's White House card next year, though the matchup has yet to be officially confirmed. Michael Bisping recently shared his perspective on the potential fight, suggesting that Jones' experience and skill set could give him the upper hand. Jones has been actively pursuing a spot on the historic card, demonstrating his eagerness to compete at the highest level once again, while Pereira has also expressed interest in the high-profile matchup. Bisping pointed out that Jones' ability to take opponents down, as demonstrated in his victory over Cyril Gane, would likely be a key factor against Pereira. While all fights present unique challenges and MMA outcomes can never be predicted with certainty, Bisping believes the matchup inherently favors Jones due to his legendary career, well-rounded skill set, and proven ability to control fights both standing and on the ground. Despite debates among fans and analysts comparing Jones to Tom Aspinall, Bisping emphasized that MMA math does not necessarily carry over from one fight to another, and each contest must be evaluated on its own merits. The discussion also touched on Pereira's wrestling and ground game, with questions raised about whether he could successfully neutralize Jones' takedowns and grappling. Jones has previously been critical of Aspinall, labeling him a quitter based on earlier bouts, including eye poke interruptions and a TKO loss to Curtis Blades. Bisping countered this perspective, noting that Aspinall's inability to continue in certain fights should not be seen as a lack of heart or effort. He explained that in MMA, injuries such as torn ligaments or knee damage make it impossible to continue safely, and choosing to tap out or stop a fight is often the only prudent course of action. Bisping highlighted that in Aspinall's 2015 heel hook loss, tapping out was the only viable option to prevent severe injury, reinforcing the point that a fighter's decision to stop does not equate to quitting. This nuanced view underscores the physical realities of MMA, where even elite competitors must balance aggression with self-preservation. If Jones and Pereira do face off, analysts suggest that Jones' experience, wrestling proficiency, and fight IQ could prove decisive. While Pereira is a dangerous striker with significant knockout power, Jones' ability to dictate the pace and control positions on the ground may provide him with a critical edge. Fans and pundits are eager to see whether this matchup comes to fruition, as it promises to test both fighters' skills and strategies at the highest level of competition. Dana White has officially removed multiple fighters from the UFC roster following the conclusion of another season of Dana White's Contender Series. As new talent earns contracts through the show, the promotion continues to make roster adjustments to maintain balance within its divisions. The latest round of cuts includes Yanal Ashmuse, Rolando Bedoya, and Kong Lee, three fighters who each had mixed results during their time in the organization. Yanal Ashmuse, known for his explosive fighting style, finishes his UFC run with a record of 2 wins and 2 losses. His most recent appearance came in June, where he dropped a decision to Quillan Salk, marking his second defeat in a row. Despite showing moments of promise, Ashmuse struggled to maintain consistency at the elite level, and the loss ultimately led to his release. However, given his aggressive approach and willingness to take on tough competition, many fans believe he could rebuild his career outside the UFC and earn another opportunity down the line. Rolando Bedoya, meanwhile, went winless in 4 UFC appearances. The Peruvian fighter entered the promotion with high expectations due to his solid regional record but found it difficult to transition that success against higher-caliber opponents. His most recent bout took place in September, where he suffered a decision loss to veteran lightweight Jamie Malarkey. While his UFC stint was challenging, Bedoya displayed heart and toughness throughout his fights, attributes that could serve him well should he continue competing in other organizations or seek a return to the promotion in the future. Kong Lee, the third name on the cut list, recorded 1 win and 3 losses across his 4 UFC fights. Known for his technical striking and counterpunching style, Lee's performances showed flashes of potential but lacked the consistency needed to secure his place on the roster. His latest fight, against Santiago Luna on September 13, ended in a stoppage loss, which sealed his exit from the organization. Despite the setback, Lee remains a talented competitor with room to grow, and many observers believe that with the right adjustments, he could work his way back into the spotlight. Roster changes are a common part of the UFC's evolution, especially following the Contender Series, which introduces new fighters eager to make their mark. While these cuts may seem harsh, they often serve as motivation for released athletes to refine their skills, rebuild momentum, and earn a second chance. The MMA world has seen numerous fighters return stronger after being released, and fans are now left wondering whether Ashmuse, Bedoya, or Lee will follow that same path back to the octagon. Oscar De La Hoya has once again gone off on Dana White, this time in response to the ongoing UFC betting scandal that continues to make waves throughout the combat sports world. Over the years, De La Hoya and White have exchanged numerous verbal jabs, and with the UFC now reportedly under FBI investigation, the boxing legend saw an opportunity to take another shot at his longtime rival. Reports have surfaced that the FBI is investigating suspicious betting activity surrounding Isaac Dolgarian's recent loss to Yario Delvier, a fight that raised serious red flags. Dolgarian entered the bout as a heavy betting favorite, but the odds shifted dramatically just hours before the fight began, prompting suspicions that the outcome might have been influenced. These concerns were amplified when MMA journalist Ariel Helwani revealed that several fighters had confided in him, claiming they were asked in the past to throw fights. In his latest, Clap Back Thursday, segment, De La Hoya didn't hold back as he took direct aim at Dana White and the UFC's ownership group, accusing them of hypocrisy and corruption. He began by saying that the news of the FBI investigating White's organization for allegedly fixing over 100 fights did not surprise him in the slightest. De La Hoya mocked White's situation, sarcastically calling him, "my friend Dana White," while describing the investigation as a consequence of his own business ethics. He pointed out that this scandal comes just as the UFC's parent company, TKO Group Holdings, has been trying to expand its reach into the world of boxing, a move De La Hoya strongly opposes. According to De La Hoya, the same executives responsible for the UFC's controversial business practices are now attempting to rewrite the rules of boxing to fit their own interests. He accused them of trying to undermine the Muhammad Ali Boxing Reform Act, which was designed to protect fighters' rights, and urged them to stay out of the sport entirely. "Everything you touch turns to absolute chaos," De La Hoya said in frustration, adding that now the FBI is crawling up your business. He also reminded fans that the UFC is already facing a $400 million lawsuit from former fighters who allege the promotion violated antitrust laws by suppressing fighter pay and controlling the market. De La Hoya concluded his rant by saying that Dana White's stress levels must be through the roof as the pressure mounts from both the lawsuit and the FBI's involvement. He described White as having a terrible week, and suggested that this latest scandal could be the beginning of serious consequences for the UFC and its leadership. While some believe De La Hoya's comments are fueled by personal animosity, others argue that his criticisms highlight growing concerns about transparency and integrity in combat sports. As the investigation unfolds, one thing is certain: the rivalry between Oscar De La Hoya and Dana White is far from over, and this scandal has only added more fuel to their long-standing feud. Rainier de Ridder has finally broken his silence regarding the fake X account that had been impersonating him and trash-talking Khamzat Chimaev online. The fake profile gained significant attention after posting bold statements and instigating drama with several well-known figures in the MMA community, including Chimaev and Ali Abdelaziz. The account was recently suspended after multiple reports, and now de Ridder has shared his thoughts on the situation in an interview with Home of Fight. De Ridder explained that while the impersonation was somewhat frustrating, he also found parts of it amusing. He mentioned that the fake account was persistent, making it seem as if it were genuinely him, and even Chimaev appeared to believe the posts were authentic. "I don't know. There's this Twitter account trying to be me. I think he still thinks that is me. He might be a little confused on that end. It is what it is. We'll see," de Ridder said. He added that he had reported the account several times before it was taken down, acknowledging that the impersonator managed to post some surprisingly convincing but dark and offensive content. "It was pretty funny. It was some quality content. He was saying stuff about Ali Abdelaziz as well. It was pretty dark and bad at times. Everybody knew it wasn't me except Khamzat," he explained. Despite the situation, de Ridder appeared calm and good-humored about the whole ordeal, choosing not to let it distract him from his goals. Instead, he took the opportunity to send a clear message to Khamzat Chimaev, emphasizing that his focus remains on returning to title contention. Addressing Chimaev directly, de Ridder said, "Be patient. Keep that title. I am coming for it soon." This statement serves as both a challenge and a reminder that he still views himself as one of the top contenders in the middleweight division. De Ridder's comments come shortly after his recent loss to Brendan Allen, a setback that momentarily halted his momentum but did not diminish his confidence. He acknowledged the defeat but made it clear that he is determined to bounce back stronger and reclaim his position among the elite. "Losses happen in this sport," he said in earlier remarks about his recovery. "What matters is how you respond and rebuild." His latest remarks reinforce that mindset, that setbacks are temporary, and his goal of championship gold remains unchanged. Fans have expressed support for de Ridder following his reaction, praising him for his composed response and sense of humor about the impersonation incident. Many also appreciated how he used the situation to reiterate his competitive intentions, keeping the focus on his fighting career rather than the online controversy. The incident also highlights a growing issue in combat sports: fake accounts impersonating athletes to stir drama or spread misinformation. De Ridder's approach, to handle it with patience, humor, and professionalism, has been seen as a model response. As for what's next, de Ridder has hinted that he is already back in training and preparing for a strong return. Whether or not a future clash with Khamzat Chimaev materializes, his message is clear: he remains hungry for the middleweight title and intends to remind everyone why he was once considered one of the most dominant forces in his division.